Money shame is different from scarcity, though they often can coexist. Money shame is the belief that there's something wrong about wanting or having a certain amount of money. But it can also show up, as I've seen with business owners, that they're struggling in their business. They don't want people to know that they're struggling in their business because they're supposed to be the experts in their work around business and money. Or it can be charging for services that can be perceived as something that should just be free. This shame creates a fundamental conflict. You need money to survive, build a business, but wanting it feels morally compromised, or having people see that vulnerability, see that real you of what's actually going on can be that conflict. Money shame doesn't prevent you from needing money. It just makes you feel terrible about needing it or being vulnerable. But this shows up as apologizing for your prices. So adding disclaimers or offering unsolicited payment plans, emphasizing how accessible you are going to try to be because charging adequately feels greedy, even when you're objectively pricing reasonably. There's guilt about earning. When you have a good revenue month, you feel uncomfortable instead of celebratory. You downplay your success, worry that you're taking advantage of people, or immediately look for ways to give the money away because it's uncomfortable being in your account. Discomfort with wealth building. You can't let yourself think about financial goals beyond just enough to get by because wanting more seems selfish or materialistic. Hiding your financial success. You don't talk about good months, raise your rates publicly, or share wins because you're afraid people are going to judge you as being money obsessed and not about the work. This can be seen as artists not actually being perceived as real artists unless they're starving for their art. I've seen that a lot. Self-sabotage around money. You unconsciously undermine your own earning through poor financial boundaries, underpricing, or avoiding money conversations entirely because if you don't earn much, you don't have to feel shame about wanting it or having it. Moral superiority about struggling. You pride yourself on not caring about money or doing it for the impact, not the profit, which sounds noble, but often masks the shame of wanting financial stability. And I remember this throughout undergrad and grad school, that constantly being the narrative. Like you're not getting into this work to be rich. As like that's something that's dirty. And you're here for the people, for the cause. This is learned shame trying to protect you from judgment, rejection, or the fear of becoming someone you don't want to be. But your character doesn't coincide with your bank balance. We need to break this narrative. We need to divorce the notion that if you're wealthy, you become a bad person. What it actually means is you can help more people. That's the reality. How are you going to truly have the impact that you are wanting to have if you're worried about how you're going to keep a roof over your head?